Hello everyone, on this video I want to share with you how we can bold the axis or how we can bold the items of the axis. In this case I'm referring to this bar chart that you see here, and you can tell the baby, electronic and appliances are being bolded, the rest of them are not, and also the color of the bars is darker compared to the rest. And also the data labels are also bolded, and these can be controlled by a pivot table slicer or a table slicer in this example. And this is kind of cool because this effect gives more prominence to what you're selecting on your slicer in case you want to emphasize more these items on your chart because they might need greater attention or priority. I do want to mention that this slicer right here is coming from this table right here, and this table have an awesome logic, okay, that actually is sort of the inspiration because of this example, because the logic that I'm gonna show you how to set it up here comes from the amazing blog post and of my friend Robert Mondegill, two posts that you have to check out and two dashboards that you will get, and you can download the workbooks. Here I'm leaving the links below this video of this blog post, and you gotta check him out. He goes into detail, what's the logic behind. I'm just gonna just explain it real fast. I don't want to steal content from him, but I'll give you the very brief example or very summarized explanation from my end. And I think it's phenomenal because on the first post, and this is from link Inspiration One, he shows a whole dashboard built on that logic, and then he goes an advanced version that you can see here on the bottom that I'm actually moving around. So go and check out those two links, pause this video and go check them out because you're gonna be fascinated about this. So because of those dashboards, they are the back end or the backbone of the logic that you see here. But before going there, let's start to set things up. So I'm gonna copy these two columns here from this table, and I'm gonna place them right here. I'm gonna convert them Control T to a table. Click OK. Go to table design. On table styles, we want to do the light 4 as always. And here on the name of the table, we're just gonna put example or example without one. Yep. And then what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna click inside the table, go to the data tab, and then on the section of get and transform data, I'm gonna click table and range. Once I'm there, and my computer is lagging. Okay, perfect. We're on Power Query, and what I'm gonna is rename this to be example connection, because potentially from this table I might make references and duplicates. So I just want kind of like this query to be connected to that table that I just set up. And then right click here, I'm gonna make a reference, and I'm just gonna rename this to be example items. And then on this one, I'm just gonna remove other columns. And because I don't have to remove duplicates because I already have all the unique items, then I'm not adding that step. And then I'm gonna close and load. And I'm gonna do only create connections because the example connection query, I wanna leave it as is, just connected connection only. But the example items, I do wanna right click here and load to, and then I want a table, and that table I want to place it right here below, and click OK, and now it's loading it. And the only thing that I have to switch or the configuration is to go right here on this table, click inside, and then go to properties or click inside, so that way the contextual tab of table activates itself, this one right here, table design, and go to properties and deselect this option right here that says adjust with column width, which is, let me step back and do this one right here, that one. We want to deselect it. So deselect it and click OK. Let's step back. And that's it. That's only in case you have a new data. It's not going to play around with your width of this column, in this case, column B. Now, here comes the logic from Robert's blog post. We're going to do a show, and I'm just gonna do a simple subtotal. Okay, subtotal is key of the cell on the right, or in this case on the left column. Okay, in this case item. And actually, hold on, I'm missing a parameter. I have to put a 3 because that's gonna be the count A comma, of the cell on the left. And now close this. And now that's gonna be throwing me 1, 1, 1. But here's the thing though. Now I'm gonna go to table design. I'm gonna throw a slicer, click item, and actually I'm just gonna change this to be this style, just a pale gray for now. And now if I do select the first two, see the table filters, but this one's gonna leave me the ones, okay? And the other items are gonna become zeros. Why? Because they're being filtered out. And that's the basic logic for what's being filtered, a 1, and whatever is being filtered out, a 0. But then again, I invite you to go ahead and check out Robert's blog post because it's phenomenal. They're going to greater detail. And again, I don't want to steal content from my friend Robert. So with this logic now, and because we're getting 1 and zeros, this is going to be beneficial because now here on this column, I'm going to put selected. Then I'm going to put axis. Then I'm going to put dark. Okay. Then I'm going to put light. Then, so I don't lose my train of thought, X position, the Y position, and then the labels. Okay, there we go. So for the selected, I'm just using a basic index of getting the ones from these columns, comma, from matching what correspond on this item, comma, from this array here, and then close, comma, 0, close parentheses of the match, close parentheses of the index. And that's gonna give me ones because everything right now is being shown. But as soon as I select 2 on my slicer, check this out. You see, this is awesome. You see the appliances and baby on the slicer and a 1 for appliances and a 1 for baby, and the rest of them are zeros. So what I just mentioned is happening and we can now see it visually. Now this logic, very useful, and I've been using it here, and I learned it back in 2020, and I told Robert, that's really awesome, really awesome. And now here's another use case that I'm using it for this example. Now the next part is the axis, and here is this is very crucial that you get because basically it's a basic if, but to the column of selected, okay, comma. If we do get a 1 there, we want to do double quotes, and then, and let me zoom in, and comma. If we don't have nothing there, I want the item. Oh, the item right there. There we go. So nothing is gonna happen here, but as soon as I select 2 here, I can see the appliances and baby are not showing on the axis. They're blank, but the other ones are showing. And because of those blanks, it is where I am gonna put the bolded item of the axis. That's the trick right there. That's pretty much the hack. Let me step back out, or let me zoom in again. And here on dark, here's the thing. We want to do 2 series for the bars that are darker, and for the lighter ones another series. Okay, so everything is dynamic. Let me just go back to here and click here, dark, and it's basically very similar. I mean, basically this function, this if, applies sort of to the rest. Let me do Control A and to select it all. Control C to copy it. And here for the dark is gonna be, if we do get a 1 unselected, I want you to put the value. Else, oh, sorry. There we go. F2 to switch it to edit mode. And then we do want to do NAs. Basically, this selected and ones is a Boolean shortcut, just in case. Just to keep things simple. Control Enter, and now we get a 19 and the 58, but we do get the NA. Sorry for that. Let me zoom in again. Now for the lighter column, we want to copy this formula, Control C, and then Control V, and we just want to switch the NAs to be in front, or the second argument with the third argument of this if, comma, and that's it pretty much. And now we're gonna see the first and last being NAs and the ones in the middle to be the numbers. Now comes the other cool part of the exposition. Again, F2, paste this formula right here, Control A, Control C, Control V, and now I don't want an NA, I actually want a 0. And in for the false part, I want an NA. I don't want nothing to be plotted. So, okay, I get a 0. Now, Control A, Control C, now copy this. Here again, I'm gonna delete it all the way up to the 0, all enter. And here I'm gonna bring a cool formula. And maybe I'm just gonna move a little bit to the right here. And which is this one, rows. I need a series of numbers, kind of like what we do with the sequence function. But because the sequence work with the spill range, we cannot bring a spill range into a table. So we have to do it this way. Rows, index, for this whole column that I am in, okay, selecting it right there, comma, 1, close the parentheses of the index, 2 points or column, and then to the cell that I am putting the formula if, and close the rows part, comma, and then all enter, and then we're gonna put an NA here. And there we go. We now have the 1 and 10. Okay, in case we deselect the slicer, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. Now let's select 2 here, and we can copy the formula from X position and put it right here on label. And again, the label that we want is basically, we don't want a 0, we just want it to have the item right here. But instead of an NA, we wanted to have it blank. So for double quote for that. And there we go. Perfect. Now let me step back. And pretty much now we have the back end of this. Pretty much it's all set. Now it's about putting the chart and putting all these series, helper series, remember post number 2, that are needed in order to get this chart dynamic as this example. So now go to inserting, go to insert tab, go to throw a line chart right here. And one thing that we have to do is, right now that we have the chart, we want to go to the format tab, and we want to go right here on this section, and we want to click to this little arrow right here. Click on that. Oh, click on that. And on properties, we want to deselect, we want to switch it to be this option right here. Okay. The don't move or size with cells. Click on that. And now this is perfect, because now if I hide, because I'm hiding rows on this section right here because of this green table, it doesn't affect the size, or it doesn't move the chart. Okay, and that's very crucial, because in case you have the green table here right next to this table. So the next part is select data, add. We want to put the series name is dark, and then this section, I always like it to do it this way, with the black arrow pointing down. That selects that series, and then click OK. I think I messed up on the selection of the chart, so let's click OK here, and then right click, change chart type, and I wanted a cluster bar chart like that. Yep. And now click again, select data, and add data, and go right here to do the light, and then the series values is gonna be this. Perfect. Click OK. And for the horizontal axis label, well, that one is gonna be this one here, which is our second column, calculated column. Click OK, click OK. And now I'm just gonna select maybe 3 for now to have them being shown. Click on the orange bars, Control 1. We wanna switch the overlap to be 100 and the gap width to be 50%. So let's do that. And have it 50%, 100% there, and for this one it's gonna be 50. And there we go. That's a good width. And now click again on the chart. Click on the orange bars. Right click, fill, and we want to switch it to be this darker 5%. And for the other ones, or that's a little bit too light, so maybe let's switch the fill to the one underneath. And that's better. And click on the blue bars, right click, click on fill, and then we want to go to this dark right here. And you can tell that that does makes a difference. Clicking the whole chart and go to home, and let's switch the font to be Arial. There we go. Perfect. Now comes to adding the axis or the bolded axis items, because as you can see, there's nothing here, there's nothing here, and there's nothing here. So in order to do that, we need to bring another series, and we're gonna convert that to be a scatter plot. So select data and add label, series values is gonna be the Y position because numbers are bigger instead of using the zeros. Close this, click OK, click OK. Now we wanna find that series. How come we don't see it? Let me see. So click on the chart, click format, and we wanna find label series. So it is right there. Okay, yep, it's right there selected. We can tell that, look at that, that series being selected because you have those lighter blue dots on the corners. Let me close the magnifier. Right click, format data series, and we want to switch it to be the secondary axis. Okay, once we do that, close this, and now right click again and then change series type. And for that, I'm just gonna switch this, the label. Okay, just do make sure that the secondary axis right here is checked in. And now we're gonna switch from cluster bar to a scatter plot and click OK. And now we wanna right click, select data, and we wanna edit the label ranges. For the X values, it's gonna be this column right here. And for the Y value, it's already selected. Perfect. Click OK, click OK, click OK. Since we have 10 items and we can count it like this visually, and also we here on with the magnifier, it will tell us that we got a count of 10. Then I'm gonna click on this vertical right axis, Control 1, and I'm gonna fix this to be a 10. And as soon as we do that, I think we should be good. But I think it's not aligned with this part right here. So maybe, why is that? The dots in essence should be aligned to that. Oh, yep, we forgot something here. My bad. On these rows right here, we need to subtract 0.05. There we go. And as soon as we do that, the dots are now sort of aligned to the middle of the bars. You can tell it right there is aligned to the middle. We needed to add that offset to minus a 1. Right, perfect. Okay, so now click on the markers, right click, add data labels, click on the labels, Control 1. Now we want values from cells, and we want to select this entire column right there. Click OK, deselect X values, but now we want to switch the right, and we want to switch it to be on the left. This option right here, click left. And then the other thing that you want to do and switch is click here on this option right here. What is that section? That's size and properties. And on alignment, we want to select allow property to overflow shape and deselect wrap text in shape. And now look at this. This is awesome. We're already there. We're pretty much done. It's now more aesthetics. Now click on the markers because you can still see them. We can see that the markers are being selected. Control 1, go to the size and fill. I think, yep, fill in line and markers. Marker options, we want none. And now go ahead and click on baby on those because those are data labels. And now click home and put color black, bold it. And now you can see, now click on the darker bars, right click, add data labels, click on those labels and make them bold and make them black. There we go. Perfect. And now that's it pretty much. I mean, you can tell we can do one selection or we can do multiple selection. And click on the grid lines here on the vertical grid lines, click outline and do a lighter gray here. Now, pretty much it is all set. Now it's all the aesthetics. Now we want to click on this vertical right axis. And maybe what you want to do there is just select to change the font to be white. But then this one on the bottom, right click on it, this horizontal bottom one, Control 1 once you clicked on it. And you're going to collapse this and you're going to go to the section of labels and you're going to put it in high. And basically, and now click on the chart, right click. And on outline, we want to put no outline. And that's it pretty much. There we go. Your chart is right there. I mean, this is a cool feature. We get to sort of highlight, sort of brush and bold the axis items to sort of emphasize that, you know, and this is all Gastell with similarity principle. When things are, you know, they follow a same attributes, our minds groups them. Okay, So this is awesome. This is the trick. I think is very beneficial for data visualization whenever we're interacting with the data. In case also a presentation, maybe you just want to talk about these two items, okay, first and last, maybe these two, and they're together, and then so people can put a greater emphasis. You put this to the foreground and the other ones go to the background. And that's it for now, this video. I'll see you in the next one, which is gonna be like a part 2 for this, because from this that we already have built, now we're gonna add a reference. And well, I don't wanna tell any more. I'll see you for number 7. Thank you for watching.